Well, needless to say, it was a great win for us. True road crowd. The crowd was fantastic. I really like Rick's club. They are one of the youngest teams in the country, and they made a couple of mistakes down the stretch that really hurt them. Yet we made some big free throws. Theo goes to the line, makes 4 in a row. Joel makes 2. Kenny made a big 3. So our last possessions, we got something good out of every one of them. We didn't rebound the ball effectively until late in the game, and then we ended up out-rebounding them. But I think the biggest factor is 2 things. We rebounded better in the second half, and then also in the second half we had 4 turnovers. We had 8, I think it was, in the first half. But 12 in the first half. I told the team several times at halftime. But I think those 2 things were the biggest things for us.
Kenny, can you take us through that shot, how that came up?
I kicked the ball to Theo, and I saw him coming back. I knew he wanted to do a little handoff, and I just got myself ready. As soon as he started dribbling towards me, I got myself ready to shoot. I knew I would have an open shot because I knew he was going to screen, so I just stepped into it and knocked it down.
Anybody else have any questions for Kenny? I mean, he played a pretty dang good game.
Kenny, what's this win kind of mean for the program moving forward in terms of just a tough road environment or whatever at the top?
It'll mean a lot down the road, especially in ACC play. The first thing Coach said when we got in the locker room was the young guys grew up a little bit today, and I think we all did. This was it was a tough environment. The crowd was really into it. They played really well, and I think the fact that we pulled it out, it tells us a lot about this team.
What allows you guys to thrive in late game situations where things are tense? What allows you guys to thrive in late game situations and tense moments? You guys did that a lot, obviously last March and April during the run to the national championship. It seems like the best carrying the weight again this year.
A lot of it's trust. We trust each other and we trust Coach. He tells us to do what he says, and we'll come out on the top, and that's what we do. Every time we pulled it out last year and today, we just did what Coach asked us to do, and it works. So a lot of it is we trusting each other and trusting Coach.
Kenny, how about defensively? You guys got the shot clock violation late, and a couple before that forced a real long rush 3 as the shot clock was expiring. Earlier in the game, they were hitting some of those shots in those situations. What were you guys doing at the time?
That's what we do. We get into the other team's legs. We try to by running the ball, and that's usually how it goes. They'll hit shots early, but then we get into their legs the whole 40 minutes, and you get down to the last 5 minutes, and the shots are short. So that's just how we play, and that's how we try to play every game.
Kenny, after having 12 turnovers in the first half, why only 4 in the second half? What was the key?
We just took care of the ball, and we were strong with it. The first half, a lot of it was us just not being strong and not being focused enough to keep the ball in our hands, and we made it a point of emphasis in the second half to do that. So that was the difference.
Take one more for Kenny, front left.
Before y'all had that late rally, it seemed like y'all had to kind of hang in there for a little bit, and I think they had 6, 7 chances to get double digits, and y'all got to stop every time. How important was it to hang around when things weren't going well?
Oh, it was really important because, we need to be there at the end. But, we tell each other on the court, let's just keep grinding. Like I said, we try to get the team's legs, so we just keep trying to grind it out, and, it worked for us today.
Thanks, Kenny.
Yep.
Questions for Coach? Front left, Andrew.
What did you learn about the grittiness of your team?
Well, we learned a lot of things in Portland, too, because we played in the Arkansas game and learned a lot of bad things in the Michigan State game. But the 3-minute timeout, I told them, I said, if you just do what I tell you to do, the best of your ability will be there at the end. And I believe they trust. I told them I liked the look on their face at that point. At halftime, we talked about cutting down on turnovers because we were hurting ourselves. Turnovers and giving them so many points on offensive rebounds in the first half, and we cut back on both of those quite a bit in the second half. And made a couple of shots. I got mad one time because we came down 4 straight times and shot threes and missed every one of them. And, if you want to be tough enough to shoot a 3, be tough enough to make one. And, but I think it's just we kept going, and a statement a minute ago about us hanging in there. I was surprised at halftime when I walked off the court and looked up and saw the score was 38-32. because that's the first time I'd really looked at the score of the whole half, and I thought we were down about 20. So I told him at halftime I felt lucky because I didn't think we had played very well and just down 6. Just do what I tell you to do. We'll have a chance there at the end.
Wait for the mic to get.
Coach, what was the game plan going in against Grant Williams? You guys seem to play him a little bit different than some other teams have.
Well, first of all, we tried to make it hard for him to get the ball low, and we didn't do a great job of that. I thought in the first half he felt very comfortable. The second half, I think Sterling bothered him a little bit with his size, and then Garrison and Luke both did a better job of getting around and fronting him in the post. But, you know, he still made a heck of a drive there, maybe their last full possession. Grant's really a really good player, and he's 16.7 points per game, I think it was, going in. And he got 15 today, so I don't know how effective we were, but I think we did try to bother him with some different looks.
Ross, Coach Renfro.
It seems like Sterling Manley played obviously huge minutes for y'all over a group of smaller guys. Is he kind of hitting that point where he can be a sitter for y'all?
Well, you know, you look at both of them. I think Sterling had 10 and 9, and Garrison wasn't bad either. He had 9 and 8, and he's much more effective defensively about being in the right place. He doesn't block as many shots as Sterling, but he's just more sound fundamentally on the defensive end. But, you know, it's 19 points and, what did I say, 16 rebounds out of those two guys. I'd take that every night.
Has he passed the conditioning test, Sterling?
Nope.
Okay.
Not the third one. He's passed 2 of the 3, but not the third.
Andrew.
Roy, aside from the guys just listening to you and doing what you say, what does allow a team to thrive in those situations? Like, what is it?
Well, they have confidence. They have belief that if they do the right things, it'll work. And I think that the confidence is always big. And I did say, I mean, our freshmen had to grow up someday. I think Sterling and Garrison really did. Jaleel might have grown up even with poor play. You can't just dribble the ball out of bounds. But I think the other guys do believe that they're going to be there at the end if they just keep, as y'all use your words, keep grinding it out. And I think they feel confident that they'll have a chance. And sometimes it works. It didn't work against Michigan State.
CL, Coach on second.
Kenny seems like he's always just kind of accepted his role on his team. Have you ever had to go the other way and tell him to be a little bit more aggressive, like the way he stepped in that 3 that
You know, I want him to take good shots, and Kenny does a very good job of choosing the shots that he takes. You know, sometimes when you tell guys to be aggressive, they start taking bad shots. You know, we got some of those guys already doing that, so I don't need more than 2 or 3 of them. But Kenny's role is to be our best defender. Kenny's role is to be a scorer. Kenny's role is to get some offensive rebounds. I don't think he got 2 offensive rebounds for us today. So I want him to be a total basketball player, and trying to give him a little time. I don't want to wear him out. And Andrew came in and did some good things defensively. Just couldn't get anything going for him on the offensive end.
In the back, Coach.
Coach, 2 games now against Tennessee. What is the biggest improvement that you saw in this team from this year compared to last year?
Well, there's a difference. I hope I get to. It was Hubs or Hobbs? Hubs. I mean, we couldn't guard him with a flashlight. I mean, it's just he was so good last year. He gave everybody nightmares there for a while, but we made a good run, and we'd been down, I think, 15 in the first half. But it's hard to compare last year's team to this year's team. I think this year's team, I watched them play 3 games. I saw them play NC State, saw them play Lipscomb, saw them play somebody else, Georgia Tech. And I think they've got a really good chance to be really good. They make a lot of shots. I mean, in the first half, I didn't think we were ever getting any stops. And when we did get them to miss a shot, they got the rebound and put it back in. Their points per possession was pretty strong for them in the first half until the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Take one more for Coach, if there is. Back left, John.
Looks like Cam went through warm-ups. Any update on his availability?
He's practicing a little bit, but he's not ready to go. We'll just have to wait and see. And I got him to go through warm-ups again today because that's just more work on his body and getting him ready to be able to do something.
Thanks, Coach. I'll lock him.
And guys, one last thing. This is a pretty doggone good place. I mean, when I was a kid, I had strong feelings for Tennessee. It's right across the mountains from Asheville, and I got to do one of the things I wanted to do was just I walked over at halftime and patted the floor at Pat Summitt's name because that was pretty important to me because Pat was a great friend, and I even brought my daughter to camp here for Pat Summitt's camp when I coached at Kansas, and Rick Barnes is a great friend too.